Hello, my name is Buthaina. Welcome to my digital story presentation. I will summarize and reflect on a novel book. The title of the book is The Hound of the Baskervilles. The author of the book is Arthur Conan Doyle. The genre is mystery, crime fiction, detective fiction. It has 223 pages. Dr. Mortimer visits Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson at their house. He brings the very old manuscript explaining death of the ruthless Sir Hugo Baskerville, who was killed by a diabolical hound. Sir Charles Baskerville recently died under the same circumstances. This suggests that the ancient curse on the family still persists. Sir Henry Baskerville, the only heir of the deceased Charles Baskerville, arrives in London. He receives a warning note to stay away from the Baskerville Hall. He hires Sherlock Holmes. Holmes sent Watson as he is too busy. Watson and Sir Henry catch Barrymore and his wife placing a candle on the second floor of the window and force them to admit that they are signaling Selden, a notorious murderer who escaped from Princeton prison, who is Mrs. Barrymore's younger brother. Miss Stapleton, mistaking Watson for Sir Henry, urgently warns him to leave Devon. Sir Henry, meeting her later, is overwhelmed by her beauty and character and is on point of declaring his love for her when Stapleton suddenly appears and tries to fight Sir Henry. Watson discovers a young woman wrote a letter to Sir Charles asking him to meet her at the spot where the ghostly hound later chased him and frightened him to death. Holmes arrives and he has been keeping watch on the moor while reading Watson's reports. Selden falls fatally while pursued by spectral hounds because he was wearing Sir Henry's cast-off clothes. Holmes finds out that Stapleton is another heir to the Baskerville fortune. The hound gets killed as it stalked Sir Henry. I have always had keen interest in detective stories. I chose this novel because of the legendary character, a fictional private detective, Sherlock Holmes. Holmes is very clever. Who doesn't want to read about a detective who is good at figuring stuff out? This novel instigates brain sharpness and exercises critical thinking and analytical skills. The structure of the genre is built around the idea that clues will tip you off when someone's lying to you. Commitment to solving crimes and making Dartmoor a safer place for the future Baskervilles, although they don't actually have a legal obligation to deal with every crime they see. There was no curse. There is always a scientific explanation behind any mystery. Although it was believed to be a curse, but the case was solved with solid evidence. Confidence is good. Overconfidence, not so much. That is how Holmes managed to explain Stapleton's murder because he believed he had created a master plan murder before. That is perfect. There are people who actually don't care of their wrongdoings. Stapleton is a sociopathic killer as he lacks any sense of guilt conscience. He's surprisingly guilt-free even though he's clearly the one to blame for most awful things. I personally recommend everyone to read this novel. You will not regret it. Thank you for your attention.